now to a piece of conventional wisdom that's being turned on its head this morning. Have a problem, what are you told? To get it off your chest, talk about it. Advice that's often put to good use, particularly by teenage girls who have raised talking it out to an art form. But now a new study suggests that all that girl talk may be doing more harm than good. Here's 2020's Juju Chang.
Look, I have been in agony the past week, and I can't even believe that I went off the way I did.
No,
It's how girls socialize.
I cannot even believe I was so unsupportive of your feelings for John.
They talk incessantly about their problems, teenage angst. But a surprising new study found that all this chatting may not be therapeutic. Quite the opposite, in fact.
For some kids, could talking about problems become so excessive, it could actually lead them to feel more depressed and anxious over time.
The study looked at girls ranging in age from 3rd grade to 9th grade. So we went looking for teenagers in their natural habitat at a suburban mall in the middle of Connecticut, because the study found that while talking excessively about their problems does foster close friendships, it actually leads to more anxiety.
We talk about, like, school and boys.
And how much time do you think girls spend complaining with each other and talking about their troubles?
More than they talk about boys. Like an hour and a half a day.
An hour and a half a day talking
Probably.
about troubles?
A little bit, yeah.
A little of both. Okay. And then after an hour and a half chatting about your troubles, do you feel better or do you feel worse?
Definitely better.
In the short term, maybe. But long term, wallowing in negative emotions can breed unhappiness. It's an issue that begins at home, according to the study's author.
This style of talking excessively about problems actually can be passed from mothers to daughters.
Brianna Theris's mom, Kelly, admits she's the type who ruminates.
Yeah, because I'll come home from work and I'll talk about how much stress it was and all the negatives, where my husband doesn't talk anything about work. He comes home and it's family hour, you know, and the problems are put behind and they stay at work, and I see myself bringing it into the house.
Experts agree the answer is talking about problems in moderation. Parents should instead suggest activities to help their teenage girls stop dwelling on their woes. For Good Morning America, I'm Juju Chang in Danbury, Connecticut.
And we are joined now by parenting contributor Anne Flechette Murphy. Good to see you, Annie.
Nice to see you.
We saw a little bit what Juju was talking about, but tell us more what parents can do, because I'm sure some of them are watching this morning going, oh boy, didn't see this coming.
It's so interesting, because I have a girl and a boy, and I can definitely see that the differences in terms of how they interact. And one of the things that you really need to help little girls understand is what they can solve and what they can't. There are certain stressors, you know, like your soccer game stunk, or your hair looks terrible, that you can do something about, versus certain things you can't change, like another person's behavior. So if they keep complaining about the way a friend is acting, teaching them to take a step back and say, you know, that's really hard, but you really can't change what she's doing. You can only change how you respond to that.
And what do you do as a parent if you think it's a little bit more than that, that you're really concerned that your child may be, be depressed?
Right. Well, I think one of the really, important things in this study is that it really does show that if a child is prone to depression, there isn't a cause and effect. But if your child is depressed and wallow in these bad feelings, seems to really exacerbate it. And so you do need to look out for sleeping patterns and eating patterns and behavior that might be a symptom of more serious depression.
And we heard from Juju as well, talking about moderation, the type of conversations, because you don't want to stifle your child from talking things out, but that you should perhaps limit those types of conversations.
Well, yes, and also she also pointed out how important it is how you model your own problem solving and talking and gossiping, because in fact, if as a mom you are constantly complaining about your friends, or you're really, again, wallowing in your own issues, that's not a good model.
And equal time here, boys. The study shows that for boys, sharing their problems make friendships stronger. No negative impact.
Well, it's so interesting because, first of all, boys are socialized for the most part not to share their feelings. So we know it's very important for them to learn to do that. They start here, and they have a way to go, and it is very healthy. And I think also probably hormonally they're a different bunch.
And that says a lot. All right, Annie, thank you. New way of looking at that.